heck of an opportunity. Michigan won the toss. They elected to defer. They'll take it in the second half. Doman is going to send it away, and we are underway. The defending champions looking to repeat and start that title defense here. Number 9 in the country on the defensive end. They do have good depth in that backfield. Elijah Gilliam, the senior, is going to be starting on this first play. Out of the pistol, the give, and not a whole lot of running room. It is going to be tough to run.
Hey, he's talented. He's got to really get rid of the ball quickly tonight.
Get it to the outside. It's Jalen Moss slipping through. He gets leveled in college football. Keene has it on third down. Over the middle. It's tipped and intercepted. Taken away by Zeke Berry. Michigan did this better than anybody in the country last year. And on the third play of the season, the defending champs get one back.
Well, we mentioned that Mikey Keene has great arm talent, but he's short. He's listed at 5'11". And Kenneth Grant is a big man and got a hand up and forced a high throw. Here's Kenneth Grant, 78. Watch him get a hand up. The ball sails a little bit off the hands of his receiver.
To eventually get this spot. And now the first look at Davis Warren at quarterback with Donovan Edwards, one of the best backs in the country, in the backfield with him. An excellent starting field position for this Michigan offense. Running behind a brand new offensive line. Edwards busted to the outside, and he's tripped up from behind.
Offensively.
And we'll see how Warren does his first throw of the season. Slings it, caught. Who else? Loveland, a cheat code for a first down in the red zone. Fresh set of downs. Samaj Morgan on the jet sweep. This is where he's dangerous with the ball in his hands up the field. Handoff, Edwards up the gut, and he's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. On second and goal. Bredesen, the motion man. Orgy's going to look to throw instead. Dump it down. Edwards wide open. Touchdown, Michigan.
Everybody in the stadium and everybody on the Fresno State sideline is thinking, of course this is going to be a run.
Now, Dominic Zavada, the transfer from Arkansas State, adds the extra point. Gets the interception on the defensive side. Then the offense drives down 5 plays, 31 yards in just under 3 minutes. Warren takes the first 4 snaps. Orgy takes the final and throws the touchdown. Jerome Moore said that against the pass, they're going to win their matchups 50% of the time, and he might be underselling it. First touch from Malik Sherrod, working through the ankle injury, ducks through.
First-round type guys.
And Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator in his first year with the program. There's a catch, third down and 4 for Fresno State. Rush coming from Michigan. Keene gets rid of it. Oh, what a catch! Moss up the field, slips through to midfield.
And he delivers a strike.
Play action pass, plenty of time. Keene is going to air it out downfield. Nearly picked, nobody home. Not just in the Mountain West, but going last year to start their season at Purdue. Will Johnson all over the field. And this is where 55 and 78 in the middle up front are so dangerous. Keene looking to throw, feeling the pressure, steps up, now he goes down. Josiah Stewart coming from the edge and dumping the QB. So here is the true freshman punter, Clay Lawrence, 22 years old, playing in his first ever organized football game. And Morgan, Warren stays in there, first touch for Mullings. And Mullings pushing forward, gains 8. Edwards, who can break at any time, and Mullings has talked about that, the difference in style between the two and how that keeps defenses on their heels a little bit. Right back to him, Mullings is going to get that first down. Jerome Moore, the former offensive line coach here, played offensive line in college at Oklahoma. Warren, swing it, Morgan. Not a whole lot of room to work with.
So they're not young freshmen playing, they're experienced veteran guys.
Pitch it, Mullings, good blocking in front. You saw that boom laid by Hinton. Here's the first spot now for Davis Warren, a third down and 10, play clock dwindling down.
Loveland is in the slot at the top of the screen.
Instead, screen pass. And not a whole lot for Tyler Morris as he's coming back as the punter. They've got a lot of confidence in what he can provide to this special teams unit. Fair catch called for and made.
So this is nothing new for him in terms of communicating with his leader.
It is Ernest Hausman who's got it on the defensive end. Nice quick catch, sharp.
And they feel like they've really fortified themselves at that position.
Sharp, the motion man on second down and 3. Keene, happy feet, lobs it up. Oh, that is tipped away by Johnson. It is dangerous. Third and 3, Keene, Gilliam knocked back backward. Immediate hit by Jair Hill, and Michigan gets the 3 and out. So the second punt of the day for Clay Lawrence from the Perth area of Australia, part of that Pro Kick Australia. And it's going to be Tyler Morris looking to return it, finding a seam. Morris across midfield, bounces off of one and a second. Morris trying to set up his blocking and then ushered out of bounds, shy of the 40.
Wink Martindale, defensive coordinator, coached for Jack at Western Kentucky. They won a national championship together there in the early 2000s.
Warren airing it out on first down. It's intercepted, taken away by Cam Lockridge. Lockridge, good blocking. Edwards couldn't get to him, and finally he is dumped. Josh Preeb. Every series we need to make adjustments against this team. Let's see how they do here. Get it on the ground. Sherrod wiggles through. Sherrod stays in there on second down and 7. Pitch it. Sherrod, open space. Sherrod makes a cut, and he's got a first down. He has said he's loved the move to center because it puts all the weight on his shoulders, and it's all a pride thing for him. Pitch it. Sherrod, no running room. Stopped at the line. Jerome Moore called Barham the best inside linebacker Michigan has had in Moore's time here, which is saying a lot considering the talent they have had. Keene on second and 9, deep drop, lofts it over the middle, over the top, and incomplete. Moss, the closest receiver there. Third and 9. Keene gets rid of it quickly and a little too tall for Cameron Beecham with his third punt of the night.
Now you just want to try to flip the field if you're Fresno State, which they're able to do here at Michigan after the 2020 season.
Morris, the motion man, handoff. Edwards plunges forward across the 15 in filling that with the newbies. Second down and 6. Warren to the outside, caught. Loveland, his second catch of the day. It's going to be about a half-yard shy of the first down.
And they're right in the thing.
Power football on 3rd and inches. Mullings the back, give it to him. Oh, he didn't get there.
No, he did not.
The penetration from Fresno State, and it's 4th down. It is not easy to move this offensive line, even though it is a brand new look. Todd mentioned it. This is a talented group. Doman's gonna have to send it away on 4th down. Fair catch called for and just made by Moss.
Tim Skipper has brought his own personality, which is very energetic, to the head coach.
Keene over the middle. It's Moss for the first down. And right now, Will Johnson not on the field for Michigan, over on the sideline. So a little bit more breathing room potentially to throw. Instead, a run, and not much there as Gilliam is spun down by Wesley Walker.
0-yard gains or negative plays.
The talented freshman Bryson Donaldson is the running back. Instead, try to swing it to the outside, and that is probably better that it was incomplete. Amir Hall was deep. That's about 70,000. This is an additional 40,000 fans in here for a 3rd down and 10 to the outside, incomplete, but a penalty is down.
Holding. Offense number is 76. That penalty is declined.
Clay Lawrence.
I don't want to jinx him, but he's done pretty good so far, catching the ball and then getting it off.
The broadcaster's jinx doesn't exist. That's the type of talent he possesses. Now 1st down at the 20 for Michigan. Warren, quick trigger, it is dropped.
Of those 2 corners, plus their 3rd corner, Julian Neal, number 15, they're pretty confident in that group.
Second down carry for Edwards, and that hole closes up quick. Lockridge was the first one there. 3rd and 11, here comes Foreman on the outside. Oh, instead it's the inside. Warren gets devoured, and it's Christensen.
And that's the shortest path to the quarterback, is right up the field and nowhere to go for Davis Warren. So this Fresno State defense kind of getting their feet on the ground right now.
They felt that they were disrespected at the end of last year. They had a struggle because they were hurt and banged up. The last 3 games, they gave up 33.3 points per game. But they believe they're better than that. They believe they're going to prove that through the season as Doman is going to send it away. And Moss is going to take it on the run into Michigan territory, just shy of the 45 of the flag down. Will Jeff Cervinski's microphone work?
During the return.
Yes.
Holding. Return team number 1. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down and 10.
attempts, 15 yards on the ground.
I go right there at Amir Hill, the new corner in the game.
Instead, it is Sherrod pushing the pile. Got a decent push and picks up maybe 3 on first down. Sherrod stays in there on 2nd and 8. Play action pass, go right at Pollard. It's a catch. Jalen Moss goes up high and vacuums it in.
To get a rhythm going.
Moss last year, most receiving yards by a freshman in program history since Devontae Adams. Now you go to the other go-to guy. It's Magdalena around the outside for a couple as we go down to KT.
Guys, Will Johnson has been on the sideline. He is not receiving treatment. I am told it is simply a rotation that they are doing on defense with Amir Hall, but he has not received any look at by the personal trainers, and he's standing on the sideline with his helmet on, guys.
Very interesting. This is a defense that certainly last year Rod motions back to the backfield. Sherrod on first down. Patient runner. And
Too close to the end zone, you know.
Knocking on the door of this red zone with an impressive kicker in Lynch. Nowhere to go for Sherrod. Keene feeling the pressure, lofts it, end zone, Delana can't make the grab.
And it could have been a better throw by Mikey Keene. Could have been caught.
Special teams coordinator John Baxter said he's been kicking it as well as he's seen through camp, and he shows it off there. Absolutely perfect to get points on the board for Fresno State.
Well, whoever is under center, I would expect to see Michigan try to get back to running the football, getting back to their identity. Not very many yards running the football so far.
Mullings is going to take this from just beyond the goal line and is spilled out across the 25.
But I would expect to see Michigan try to get back to running the football downhill.
Mullings and Edwards each with 4 carries. Play clock down to 2. It will be Mullings. And he's hit immediately. Another nice play by Nomura. Warren a pass on 2nd down. Over the middle. He's got a completion. It's Bell. Makes a move. He's got the first down. The interception deep to Lockridge. Handoff. Mullings slips away. Mulling for 5.
Didn't work out the way he envisioned, but he finished strong.
Mullings. Stutter step. Mullings. Enough for the first down. Fresh set of downs just shy of midfield. Morris the motion man. Mullings the handoff. They go right back to him, up the gut, pushing the pile, and picks up 5 more. Just the influence it brings. Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman now with the Chargers hoping to do the same at the NFL level. Warren slings, completes, Loveland. Move the sticks once again. Bredesen out wide, as is Edwards on first down. Warren uncorks. It's Loveland again on the run. Picks up 13 to the 25. Loveland was easily one of the best tight ends in the country last year, and Sharon Moore says he's gotten even better. Get it? Edwards trying to get to the outside. He can't. Good pursuit by Braca. Day so far. It was a touchdown to Donovan Edwards on the first drive. Here's the handoff. Mullings chopped down. Warren, Edwards. Sniffed out.
That was Julian Neal, the 3rd corner. You've got 3 timeouts in your pocket.
45-yard attempt, and Zavada drills it.
It's a 1-score game. Don't try to force the issue with under 40 seconds left in the ball in the first half. A lot of times in a situation like this, you call a screen or something safe. You see if you can make a quick first down, then maybe you get aggressive and use your timeouts. But again, only 31 seconds left in the half and a long field ahead of you against this Michigan defense.
It looks like conservative here just based on how they're lining up. And it is Gilliam up the middle, scampers forward. Gilliam will pick up 9. Will Tim Skipper take the timeout? It doesn't look like he will. So he's content going to the locker room down by 7. Not forcing any issues, not making any mistakes in these final moments of this first half. A Fresno State defensive effort that has turned a lot of heads, not just here tonight, but certainly around the country in the Mountain West.
Fresno State, it's a winnable game if Mikey Keene gets hot. He can't be a 50% completion guy in the second half.
Mullings will take this from 5 yards deep. Finds a crease. Mullings across the 25, spun down. Play action to Edwards. Warren on first down finds Loveland on the run. He shoved out of bounds at the 30. Orji on 2nd and 7. Design run. Orji walloped at the line. You see right there, 0 for 4. Michigan on 3rd down. This one 3rd and 6 for Warren. Loveland, the go-to. First down and more into Fresno territory, dragging Lockridge with him.
Donovan Edwards needs to become more of a factor in this game. He's too explosive, too dynamic, and he hasn't done much.
There he is, Edwards, couldn't bring it in, nearly taken in the shade to his window, and he has seen Colston Loveland on the field working out every single time. He's like, again? This guy? Yeah, that guy, making the hands catch across the 45. Warren uncorks, complete over the middle. Sure-handed catch by Tyler Morris, and the veteran moves the sticks.
All right, so now the numbers favor running the football.
And that's what they do. Edwards wiggles through, pushing his way to the 31. Matched up with Dean Clark, the safety. Edwards bounce it. Edwards sheds a tackler, flag is down. Edwards finds the edge and sails out of bounds after a first down run. We'll check the penalty. Also in the game, coming from Germany. Here comes the rush. Warren fields it, lobs it up. Incomplete. His biggest goal of this season was. This is a big 3rd and 17. They converted their first 2 third downs on the drive, but they'll keep it conservative with Mullings. A transfer from Arkansas State. Does it have the leg? It does, and then some. A 53-yard bomb. Dolman sends it deep. Delana and James waiting for it, and once again, we'll let it sail into the end zone for a touchback.
State not backing away from the challenge.
Play action on first down. Keene's in trouble, will go down.
So far, no stoppage in play.
Keene, he has a completion. In stride, Delana's going to take it for a first down. Sherrod in there. He's been the most productive running back. 10 carries for 32 yards despite the ankle injury. Delayed handoff, it is Sherrod. And he just disappears into that pile right back to the line of scrimmage. Just about every day, certainly in that room, they are the leaders. Keene, a strike right in the pocket for Moss.
And Keene able to find him.
Sherrod, no running room. This Michigan defensive front. Sherrod tries to cut it upfield, and he is.
No safety for Michigan, showing all-out pressure.
Keene, dump it. Sherrod, can he get away? No, he can't. Thrown backward by Josiah Stewart. Clay Lawrence back out there to boot it away to Samaj Morgan. Calls for the fair catch and then lets it sail out of bounds. We'll see where they officially rule this one. It'll be the 9-yard line.
Ohio State game, not just in the playoffs or the national championship game. They need him right now.
And he tries to lower the shoulder and gets stoned by Nomura and Jackson. Let's go down to KT.
Well, Colston Loveland also echoed a lot of what you guys are saying when I talked to him this week. He said Donovan Edwards has been waiting for this opportunity. He's a leader, but this year he's more vocal. He calls people out. He lets his teammates know what he's thinking. He's 100% transparent, and Loveland said that that's huge because he said we need to know what he's thinking, and he needs to know what we are, guys.
Well, he certainly has tried to win the favor of the offensive line. He's been taking them to dinners at Ruth's Chris, which can't hurt. Orji in the game. Option, Orji outside, showing off the speed for a first down.
A consistent passer. He's got a strong arm. Just got to be consistent throwing it.
First down run for Edwards. Up the middle, and there's some production from Edwards for 8. Second down and 3 from the 28. Delay, that nice hesitation just gave him enough space for the first down. Been the missing piece for him on top of it. He hasn't been out there for an extended drive yet. Warren outside, a little bit too far in front of Bell and incomplete. And that 9-yard run on the opening drive does eventually set up the touchdown. Fake it, Orji looking to set up his blockers. Orji over the top and picks up 10 more.
I don't know what all those words mean.
Yeah, there's a lot of compound syllables. Warren loads it up, looking for it all. Incomplete for Morris. Bredesen the motion man, 2nd and 10 with Edwards still in there. Warren on the move. Warren fires, incomplete, just threw it away in the direction of Morgan.
They felt pretty good about the depth that they had coming in.
One of those pieces make a play as we head down the stretch here tonight. Off the back foot, incomplete for Morgan. So a productive drive stalls out shy of midfield. Doman sends it away. Fair catch called for. We haven't seen necessarily a ton of blitzing so far. How much of that is just catered to personnel?
Well, a lot. I mean, Wink Martindale is a smart defensive coach. I mean, he doesn't blitz just to blitz. I mean, he blitzes if he needs to create pressure. But when you can create pressure with your front four like they've done for the most part tonight and stuff the run, you don't need to blitz. That gives you more flexibility with coverage on the back end.
Gilliam sneaks through for 2 on 1st down. Well, we mentioned the idea of the connections from the last 2 defensive coordinators here in Ann Arbor. Mike McDonald, now the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Jesse Minter, now the defensive coordinator with the Chargers. But Wink Martindale was there with them in Baltimore. This quote is awesome. It's like I told the players, you know, in all humility, I'm the OG of this system. Not a whole lot's going to change. Maybe a little bit more aggressive as Hill breaks up the pass on Moss there. Said, we're just going to be completely fine here. It's going to be a continuation.
Well, the defense, you know, I talked to him on the field before the game. He was really excited to see his defense play against another team. You know, no preseason games, no scrimmages with other teams like they do in the NFL. This is their first time playing against another team. He's got to be pretty happy with what he's seen so far.
Let's see if they bring the blitz here on 3rd down and 8. Crowd's been relatively quiet throughout the night, waiting for a reason to erupt. Blitz comes. Barham in pursuit. Keene gets rid of it. And was anybody there? Does get past the line of scrimmage. Was he outside of that tackle box as well? Barham on the pressure and Keene on the throwaway.
See, this is a blitz, but it's a zone blitz. It's zone coverage behind it. It's a tricky coverage. Mikey Keene is running for his life and has to just bail and throw the ball away. They get a free rusher, but they're not taking a chance of playing man-to-man coverage.
Showcases that impact that Barham should provide through the season. Sharon Moore said it was a simple choice bringing Martindale in for all the reasons we outlined. Lawrence sends another one deep. Morgan calls for it and makes the fair catch. Good field position for this Michigan offense. Only touchdown of the game. But Bredesen in motion, handed off for Mullings. Mullings bounce away and picks up 6.
Well, a lot of credit belongs to this Fresno State defense, particularly their front 7 and how stout and physical they have been against the run. Michigan typically has been able over the last few years to impose their will on teams with their front, and they just haven't been able to do that. I mean, running the football now 87 yards, well below their normal numbers, rushing the football.
2nd and a long 2. Warren, quick strike outside. Morris. It's going to depend on the spot as to whether they move the sticks here. It looks like they'll give it to him on forward progress as Regan tried to keep him backward. You know, it is worth mentioning that if this Fresno State defense plays like this throughout the year with the expanded playoff, this team is a legitimate threat.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be one Group of 5 conference champion that's going to make it into the playoffs. And the Mountain West Conference has got a couple good teams. And this is one of them.
Fans here waiting for an explosive play of some kind. Mullings has just been chewing up yards the hard way. That one goes for 4. 75, 70 degrees actually feels chilly for us. They're used to 100 plus. Mullings gets crunched. Langley coming over, forced the incompletion and sets up 3rd down and 6.
Now, again, just no threat by the wide receivers of this Michigan offense. They're not afraid of it. You look at tonight, how much better they have been. Again, they were pretty good when they started at 8-1. It was in that 3-game slide at the end of the year where their defense really took some hits. But they have played masterfully tonight against both the run and the pass, and they have held up physically to the style that Michigan plays football.
But Loveland in the slot here on 3rd down and 6. He's got a career-high 7 receptions. Do they go to him again? Warren over the middle. No, instead, it's Amaj Morgan.
Well, that's what they needed, right? I mean, they just have not been able to get the ball in the hands of any of their wide receivers. For Morgan, I think his 2nd catch, and a big one on 3rd down there for the conversion. Good protection, good throw by Warren.
He's super confident and looking to take that step now in his 2nd season. Orji back in. He'll run behind that offensive line and just dive forward for 3.
Well, what a play by the safety, Dean Clark. He's from my neck of the woods, played at Massillon Washington High School, started out at Kent State and transferred to Fresno State. But watch him fill on this play on the outside. He's right up by the line of scrimmage. And again, these safeties are excellent tacklers on the back end of this Fresno State defense.
Clark was the 2nd leading tackler on the team last season. Voted a captain at Kent State in 2021. Played 35 games there before coming over to Fresno. Orji stays in on back-to-back plays and then dirts that one to Morris.
Yeah, we haven't seen him on back-to-back plays, right? And they kept him in for 2 in a row. They called a little rollout pass. And just not a good throw into the ground. And again, I mean, he is a supreme athlete with a very strong arm. And the coach just said he has really developed from the time he got here till now as a passer. He was a 54% completion guy in high school as a senior, right? That doesn't cut it in college football. So his development and consistency as a passer is where he needs to go, because he's got a lot of other intangible tools.
3rd and 7, and Loveland can't haul it in.
Well, we haven't seen him drop many balls. This is a good throw by Davis Warren, and Loveland just not able to corral him. He's working against the safety. It's a good throw, right on target and right on time. And Loveland just whiffs on that one.
So Zvada is going to come back on. He made from 45 and from 53. His career long is 56. This one is 55 yards away, and with a miss would give Fresno State excellent field position. Dome in the holder. Wagner will snap it, and Zavada is perfect. Ducks, obviously so much expectation after a fantastic season last year, and Dan Lanning coming back once again, bringing in Dylan Gabriel for the top, many believe, to win the conference.
Yeah, UNLV also picked up there. They're blanking Houston tonight so far.
Sherrod dumped in the backfield by Rolder.
Well, again, they had just dominated the run defense now. And take a look at this play. Rolder just comes from the outside. He's an inside linebacker lined up on the end of the line of scrimmage. And they have just negated this running game. So far for the game now, 17 total yards rushing, -8 in the 2nd half.
And that makes it 2nd and 14 for Mikey Keene. Good time here, lofts it, sideline, Keene in the bucket for Moss. Guarded by Johnson. Moss takes advantage and he's hurt. Can Fresno State cash in on the explosive play? Fake it, Keene rolling, Keene delivers, caught, Delana.
A nice throw, rolling to his left. It wasn't open right away. Watch him kind of buy a little bit more time. Just kind of drifts until his man was open, and then delivers a nice throw rolling to his left.
Picks up 15 and now getting close to field goal range. This team needs touchdowns and they need them quick. Here comes the rush. Barham in pursuit. Keene's got to get rid of it, and he does. Oh, it's caught. No, they're going to roll it incomplete.
Yeah, the last play was a design rollout. This was not. This was a rollout because of pressure. And Keene almost comes up with another completion.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, that looks like a catch. The ball did not move. It can touch the ground, but it didn't move. His arms were under it. He never lost control. That's going to be overturned and be a catch.
2 quarterbacks in there. Wood takes it himself. Nearly had it stripped.
Page out of the Alex Orji playbook right there.
And then a little extra after the fact.
Bring in the backup quarterback, have him run the football. 6'2", 202 pounds. Got positive yards.
Go back to that decision again. End of the first half. Fresno State gets a stop on 3rd down with a little over a minute remaining on the clock, and Tim Skipper does not take any of his 3 timeouts. Eventually goes in with a 7-point deficit. Jalen Moss matched up with Will Johnson. 5 on the clock. Keene surveys, goes the other way. Oh, it's knocked away. Hall with a big hit.
Yeah, that ball was in the air a long time, right? They're lined up on the right hash. He's throwing it to the left sideline. The ball stays in the air a long time, and by the time it got there, Hall was able to time it up and put a helmet right on the football. A little bit behind the intended receiver, Sharp, but a nice play by Hall.
Third down of this half, looking for their first conversion. Empty on 3rd and 8. Keene gets rid of it. It's caught. It's Sharp to the end zone. Touchdown, Fresno State.
Fresno State touchdown.
One of the 2 FCS transfers gets into the end zone, and the extra point from Lynch.
And a lot of time still left in the ball game with 10:06, so Michigan can't just take the air out of the football. They've got to be aggressive too. It's a 1-score game.
Mullings going to take it out. Mullings sandwiched.
It's their time to shine right now.
Edwards on 1st down. Collision after a gain of 2. Good look at this new offensive line for Michigan. Sharon Moore said even those Joe Moore award-winning offensive line groups in years past, the last couple years with him as the O-line coach, they needed to improve through the season. He expects this group to do the same. Each week get a little bit better. And this is a huge moment for them to prove themselves.
It's the hardest group to develop, right? I mean, because you have to have 5 guys working as a unit in cohesion, and that takes time, especially against live competition.
Sharon Moore said to win a championship, you need 10. And a nice tackle there by Braca. Again, these safeties making plays. And Sharon Moore knows what it means to play that position. Never a starter at Oklahoma, but he was a key piece to those teams that were excellent in the Big 12.
Miles Hinton, the starting left tackle, got up hobbling a little bit 2 plays ago. He's still kind of limping on the left side on this big 3rd down and short play. Orji in at quarterback.
3rd down and 1. Orji keeps. He's got a lot of space and a 1st down.
Really sold the fake. The Fresno's defense thought he had given the ball off. He was patient with the fake. He rode it in for a long time before pulling, and then he had a crease. Watch how long he holds this fake. Hold, hold, hold. Commit that guy on the end of the line. That was Braca, the safety, and that's why it opened up. He was not impatient with that play, and it set up beautifully.
5 carries, 32 yards to go along with a passing touchdown for Orji. Mullings. 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 Dragging tacklers with him. Big gain of 21. Kalel Mullings. Power.
A really nice job of running power football. Watch Bredesen leading up on the middle linebacker. Good blocking at the point of attack. And then just the strength and power of Kalel Mullings.
Longest play of the day for Michigan. Mullings up to 71 on the ground. Put Loveland in motion on 1st down. Mullings cuts. Mullings chewing up yards. They cannot stop him.
Well, this is the first time in the ball game that Fresno State's defense has looked a little bit fatigued to me. They're not getting off blocks on this possession. Credit the offensive line and tight end group of Michigan and the hard running of Kalel Mullings. But some of those 2- and 3-yard gains are springing for more here on this drive.
86 yards on the night, showcasing this offensive line here in the fourth quarter. This is what Michigan did all last year. Run it down your throat, down the stretch to end these games. And Mullings is too tough to bring down, get 6 more.
Well, and again, Colston Loveland, watch this block. This is an insert. He's going to come and lead right here on the inside linebacker. We know what kind of a receiver he is. Watch him block. Likes to put his face on people and block, be physical. And right now, this offensive line and the tight ends have the most juice they've had in the game. They're feeling it right now, and they want to drive this thing all the way into the end zone.
That's what makes Colston Loveland extra special. Sharon Moore loves the fact that he loves to hit and he loves to block on top of his all-world receiving capabilities. Play action, Warren over the middle. It's Loveland in stride. Loveland stays up. Touchdown, Michigan.
With success, you force the defense to commit bodies and play man-to-man, and then you go to your go-to guy, Colston Loveland.
Zavada makes it a 13-point Michigan lead. All the players were so excited for him, and what he brings is a continuation of what Jim Harbaugh built the last couple of years, but energy, excitement, a player's coach through and through. Sharon Moore compared him to Travis Kelce at media days this year, and that right now is feeling fairly similar, and that could be a nail in the coffin. Johnson comes away with it. Quentin Johnson on another tip drill. Second interception for Mikey Keene, and the second takeaway for this Michigan defense.
Yeah, another high throw by Mikey Keene. Off the fingertips, is it catchable? Yes. But if the ball is lower on the numbers, it's a completion. Instead, it's a tip ball, and it ends up, we think, is an interception. Nope,
Maybe not.
That one's not going to be an interception. You know, he is as engaged as he can possibly be without being able to play.
He's going to be out for a while as Keene delivers. Oh, this one is picked off. Makari Page looking to take it the other way. Dumped down shy of the 20, a 20-yard return, and Michigan just takes it right back. Flag is down. How much of a strength that was for them. Wow.
42. 15-yard penalty scores from the previous spot includes automatic first
So
down.
negate 2 consecutive interceptions. This one, TJ Guy.
Quarterback kind of seems to fall down on his own as he's looking downfield. I'm with you, Todd. This is not a foul.
It was unsportsmanlike on Barham after the play. That easily could have been a false start.
Movement by the right tackle.
And it was.
This will come back.
Yep.
What did Barham do there?
Keene outside, caught. Sherrod, shifty, spins into Michigan territory, stays on his feet, extra yards after the fact. Page finally brings him down, but he gets to the 39.
New life is right for Fresno State. 4:45 and the clock moving. They've got to have a little sense of urgency because they're down 2 scores here.
Quick pass on
Wow, that's a horse collar there.
And there it is. The flag comes in. It was the catch and run from Acevedo.
Of all the penalties they've had here against them in this drive, that's the only one that looks legit. Face mask and behind the back. I mean, he could have called either one.
Michigan had 1 penalty this entire game up until this drive. They now have 3.
Face mask grabbing a helmet opening. Defense number 42. 15-yard penalty results. And automatic first down.
And that's the second on TJ Guy, who has been expected to take a major step for this defense this year. So the continuous opportunities for Fresno State, and now you've got to punch it in. Red zone opportunity, 4:34 to play. You've got all 3 timeouts. Your defense has played outstanding football today. Can Mikey Keene, the veteran, get the job done here? Keene looking to throw. Pressure felt. Lost it to the sideline. Another completion goes to Beecham.
Yeah, really nice design. They had Beecham over there with Jalen Moss, and Michigan was more concerned with Moss, who kind of sold the screen. You see both defenders take steps towards Moss, and Beecham opened up for the completion.
It'll be 1st and goal. Oh, picked off!
Too many times.
Will Johnson, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, seals it for Michigan. Pick 6, touchdown Wolverines.
The play before this, they faked the screen to Moss and threw to Beecham.
It was a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 2, that reinforced and the ensuing kickoff.
86 yards for some sunglasses and a W here in Ann Arbor.
He read this right away and stepped in front of the throw and made an All-American kind of play.
Preseason first team AP All-American. Preseason Big Ten honoree. First team All Big Ten last year, second team by the media. The coaches knew just how special he was. His defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale, knows just how special he is. And Jerome Moore's head coach knows that he is one of the heart and souls of this defense. He didn't allow a touchdown defensively until the second half of the regular season. And they proved to be dominant once again as we go to KT. Played to that level for this Michigan defense. Fresno State is looking to find anything they can here as Beecham is chopped down after a gain of 9. Fresno will hurry up with Keene. Sherrod split to the outside, playing through that ankle injury, and he's played a number of snaps tonight. Keene feeling it, delivers a strike, and it's caught by James.
Well, Michigan's defense did what they wanted to do in this game, which was make them one-dimensional. They stopped the run, 20 yards rushing total for Fresno State, and then they put pressure on Mikey Keene, and they were opportunistic in the back end, forcing 2 interceptions.
Again, with the new college football playoff expanded, this was easily the toughest game on the schedule for Fresno State, but we see just how good they can be. Their offense maybe hasn't looked like we expected to through this season, but their defense was stout, really start to finish, as that one's knocked away. We mentioned the comparisons, Will Johnson and Charles Woodson, the iconic Rose Bowl photo from '98, recreated this past year from Will Johnson after they beat Alabama.
Will Johnson's dad, Dion, was a three Big Ten championships during his time here playing at Michigan.
Find the soft spot for Delana and a first down into Michigan territory. 15-yard pickup. Keene up to 230 yards. So Fresno State, Sherrod can continue to get healthier. We've got the experience of the captain Keene. We've seen the explosiveness from Jalen Moss. Oh, look out! Down goes Keene. Josiah Stewart with another sack.
Well, again, when you take the run completely away, it's just one-on-one pass blocking against outstanding edge rushers and dominant interior guys. And Josiah Stewart, the transfer from Coastal Carolina, with another sack in the ball game. That's the 3rd sack of the game for this Michigan defense.
And that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout here in the 4th quarter. Swing it, Delana. Good blocking in front, trying to weave his way through and gets it back to the 45.
I mean, Fresno State will not face an offensive line or a defensive line nearly as good as what they saw tonight. And they held their own. Tim Skipper can fly home and say, you know what, we played well. If we play this way and eliminate some of the turnovers, some of the mistakes, we'll be just fine with the rest of our schedule.
That's what you hear from the Michigan offense all the time, is how much they've been sharpened by having to go up against this Michigan defense every day in practice. Fresno State getting that taste. Sherrod on the ground, picks up 1.5 yards. Derek Moore adds a tackle.
And I think if you're Michigan, look, you knew Fresno State was going to fight. That they were not going to be afraid to come in here and play. They, with a new cast of characters and a new defensive coordinator in week number 1.
Lawrence will punt it away. Final 30 seconds here and gets a clean one. That's been one of the best developments for Fresno State, is this 22-year-old true freshman in his first ever organized football game.
That is going to be exciting to watch. Dylan Raiola, the freshman quarterback, played well today. See him in that big stage next week.
Well, on this big stage here tonight, Davis Warren, the former walk-on, who has been through so much through his young life, makes his first start at Michigan, and it's a victory. 30-10, the defending champions start the season with a win. Mutual respect between these two head coaches. Tim Skipper in his first game since taking over for Jeff Tedford, coached the bowl game last year. Now in the interim role, Sharon Moore, first game as the full-time head coach. Let's send it down to KT.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Your official first victory as head coach of the University of Michigan. What did you learn about your group tonight?
Yeah, tough, gritty performance. I thought our defense did an outstanding job. Gave them a couple big plays, but that's going to happen. Offense got to groove at the end. We've got to be more consistent. We just got to do the little things right. But overall, you're always happy to get a win.
We saw you use the rotation at quarterback again. Davis Warren, what did he show you in this win tonight?
He did a really good job just managing the offense and doing things the right way. Super happy for him, and we'll keep using him. You keep using Orgy, but I thought those guys did a really good job.
And getting back to the defense, an electrifying play there to end the game from Will Johnson. What does he continue to show you as a leader in this team?
Yeah, he just gets better. He loves football. He works hard at it, and he just continues to get better.
Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.